Hello, class. All right, so as you can see, we're in week 13, and we have one deliverable this week. Assessing and managing risk. So if you're my honors student, you know who you are. Please note the top line. It says complete this assignment according to the directions provided in the honors addendum located in the course materials. So please make sure you do look at your honors addendum when you're completing this if you are an honors student. Purpose of this assignment is to assess how potential value-enhancing strategies may pose risk to a firm. So you're going to build on some of the ideas you've come up with in the previous assignments. Make sure you read through all of these directions. Keep in mind that increasing value for the firm does not necessarily mean expanding the business, acquiring other firms, conducting research and development, or introducing new products and services might fall under the umbrella of value enhancement, while in other cases it may mean downsizing, right-sizing, or even refining the products and services the firm offers. If you're not sure what some of those terms mean, please look them up in your book or Google them. And if you still have questions, go ahead and come to class with those questions and we'll discuss them. Now, you have 6 prompts here. They're asking for approximately 1,500 words. Again, you don't have to have exactly 1,500 words. If you cover everything in detail that tells me that you answer the rubric and that I know that you know what you're talking about. Read through each 6 prompts. What I want to do today is pull up the rubric. Keep in mind that this rubric is exactly what I go by when I grade your papers. All right. So the first is the Strategic Alternatives Assessment Recap, which is 15% of your grade. So we will look at number 5. Recap of the Strategic Alternatives Assessment demonstrates thoughtful comprehension of firm strengths, weaknesses, shows clear and appropriate incorporation of instructor feedback. Submission includes the addition of elements from the financial analysis. So you're building, like I said, building on the assignments you've already done, looking at my comments, improving upon the elements as you recap in this assignment. The next one is worth 10% of your grade. Information gaps in formulating strategic alternatives and assessing possible risks demonstrate a critical analysis of how value-enhancing strategies will affect the firm and how the effects of threats and weaknesses might be mitigated. Something I need to say here is it's not enough just to define the concepts or explain the concepts. You need to actually perform the analysis for the organization, for the corporation that you've selected for this class. So if it's Amazon, you do the analysis on Amazon's actual data. If it's Walmart, you do Walmart's actual data. If it's Sparklight, you need to look at Sparklight's actual data and do your analysis that's relevant for this assignment. All right, so the next 4 at least, are also 10% of your grade. You need to recap the financial analysis in a way that demonstrates thoughtful comprehension of firm performance and the financial condition and shows clear and appropriate incorporation of instructor feedback. Financial assessment update, an updated assessment of the firm's performance and associated financial strategies demonstrates direct connections to instructor feedback and shows timely research of current financial markets. Then we're talking about the applicability of the decision matrix again. Discussion about the applicability of a decision matrix to determine risk demonstration, appropriate insight into risk prediction, and thoughtful consideration of how risks influence strategic alternatives. Then you have the risk matrix, 10 unique risks are thoughtfully identified in the matrix specific to the selected firm. So pick 10 unique risks to Sparklight or Walmart or Amazon. Make sure you pick those. Don't just tell me what they are, or don't just describe me what risks are. Tell me specifically what are 10 unique risks to the firm that you selected for this course. Then critical risk impacts. Impacts of the most critical risks on the proposed strategic alternative demonstrate thoughtful consideration of firm strengths and weaknesses and are discussed in depth. So if you did not select a strategic alternative in any of the previous assignments, pick one now and analyze the impacts of the most critical risks of that strategic alternative. Okay, so those are your prompts. Now, before we go on, use these descriptions in the rubric as your headings. Use bold typeface, New Times Roman font, 12 point. Use these as your headings, and that will make it much easier for me to grade, much quicker for me to go through. And if you're writing a business paper, the use of headings is very helpful to help people navigate your report or your recommendation and find the information they're looking for quickly. So it's a good practice to get into. Then we have the other normal things that are 5% each of your grade: thesis development and purpose, argument, logic, and construction, mechanics, writing, paper format, which just means you're using APA format correctly, and then documentation of sources. So you need sources. I want at least 3 sources in your papers. I want them not only in the reference page at the end, but I want them cited throughout the paper. And not just in one section, and then you have, like, maybe you cite it once or twice on page 1, but you never cite it again in the entire paper. That's not what I'm looking for. I would like you to have references for everything you're suggesting, for all your arguments about the risk. So make sure your arguments are supported by data, by references somewhere. All right, so that's what I'm expecting in this assignment. It is due by Sunday, April 4th at 11:59 p.m. All right, so that's deliverables for this week. I hope you all have a fantastic week. I'm looking forward to class this week and seeing all of you. Have a great week.